Very good evening to you. Welcome to KTN Prime. Thank you for joining us. Our sign language interpreter at the bottom end of your screen is William Sila. Sila, thank you. Now, all eyes are tonight fixed on the Supreme Court as Kenyans wait to know the number of petitions that will be filed as the clock strikes midnight. And that is where we begin our bulletin tonight. Our Sophia Wanuna is at the Supreme Court. Sophia, good evening. Good to see you. Correct me if I'm wrong. We do know now that the number of petitions that have so far been filed are two. One by former Kilome Member of Parliament Harun Mwau. Could you talk to me a little bit about that particular petition?
Good evening, Linda. Yes, that is one of the petitions that has been officially received by the registry here at the Supreme Court. Harun Mwau, remember, had also moved to the High Court earlier, and he was seeking to stop the election, citing that the nomination exercise had not taken place before the 26th repeat poll. However, the High Court at the time, finding they had no jurisdiction over this presidential election, he has now moved to the Supreme Court, filing that petition today. Again, the backbone of that petition, Linda, is the question of nominations. He argues that in strict compliance to the rule of law and applicable electoral rules, then nominations should have taken place before these repeat elections. In fact, he argues IEBC squandered 5 days, which they would have been used by the Commission in ensuring that at least a 21-day period of nominations, or even that they had leeway to be able to give that period of time. And his argument, again, Linda, being when the Supreme Court voided the 8th of August presidential election, that in essence nullified every other procedure in that presidential election, including the nominations. In that sense, to suggest that the individuals on the ballot papers are not recognized in law if they were not then duly nominated, as is a requirement. And Linda, he goes further to question some of the actions by the IEBC, citing them as irregularities in the gazetting of candidates. Because remember, after the Supreme Court ruled, the IEBC first went ahead to gazette two candidates, Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. After that, then they issued a notice and amended, if you like, that gazette notice, including all the 8 candidates. Then after that, further amended, expunging the name of Cyrus Jirongo owing to bankruptcy issues. Linda, the intrigues continued. Then the name of Cyrus Jirongo was reinstated because the matter of bankruptcy had not been fully canvassed according to the orders they'd received. And this is some of the issues Harun Mwau is citing, and as far as just the manner in which the IEBC has in itself allegedly conducted itself irregularly, not following the law strictly, arguing that even as far as campaign period of time for each of these candidates, these were not complied with because of this back and forth change of positions on the candidates that would participate. And even the nomination fees, he's citing such requisite requirements that then were not met in this exercise. So what Harun Mwau wants is this election to be invalidated, Linda.
Yeah, because it says they are susceptible to nullification by the Supreme Court. So it's not just Harun Mwau, Sophia. We also have another petition, but of a different kind, by the Institute for Democratic Governance. Talk to me about that as well.
Yes, another petition by the Institute for Democratic Governance has been filed, not challenging the election. This, in fact, is on the opposite side. This institution is suing Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Moses Wetangula, Musalia Mudavadi, as well as James Orengo. They are the 5 respondents. And the argument in this petition is that these individuals allegedly conducted electoral offenses and malpractices, and that another or other allegation they're making is that by so doing, they infringed on the rights of Kenyan citizens. They also are seeking that the court finds these individuals not fit to hold public office. And the final prayer they're making is that the damages and losses that were witnessed and occasioned by these electoral offenses and malpractices be surcharged to these individuals, that they be found liable to all of the damage. So that's the other petition before that has now officially been received. We have confirmed at the registry of the Supreme Court. A few moments ago during the big story, Linda, other individuals, young men under the Black Flag organization also came here, and they are seeking to file they have sought to file a petition. They've handed it to the registry. However, remember, there's a process of verifying the same to find if it meets the threshold of a presidential election petition. And in their petition, they spoke to us. They are suing Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, and the IEBC IEBC, and they say the background and backbone of their petition is the deaths and injuries sustained and that were occasioned by the violence before the election, arguing the environment was not conducive for an election as envisaged in the Constitution. Another ground in the petition, Linda, is that the election did not take place in 25 constituencies, saying that the Constitution indicates that an election must be conducted in all the constituencies. However, Linda, we've just gotten a quick word because this petition is 9 pages. And we saw even in the last petition when they filed, and even in 2013, they're usually very bulky because of the nature of just a case you need to put out. And so it was just 9 pages. I've spoken to one of the officials there. He says, in terms of the threshold, this one is wanting. So very unlikely that it will be accepted. But we wait to see for that final word and the reasons that will be given by the Deputy Registrar here at the Supreme Court. But also, Linda, before I hand it back to you, many will be wondering who else may come. There's many reports about civil society organizations. We still have under 3 hours to go, to that deadline at midnight. What I can tell you that perhaps, is speculation at this point. 2 journalists that are linked and allied and work with the Raila Odinga team. Every function Raila Odinga is in, you will see these 2 journalists. Have covered a few of those, and they are always present. They are here. They're amongst the journalists that are camping out here at the Supreme Court. And usually these 2 individuals who are journalists that always cover these Nasser events will always be with Raila Odinga. So the speculation that perhaps could we see a National Super Alliance petition as much as they boycotted the election? Could they still petition this? Because they do have a right. It is their right if they chose to. So again, speculation. But other civil society groups, We the People, Muhuri, we have had Kuriako Sauti Yangu, I beg your pardon as well. So we'll wait to see, Linda. It's a wait-and-see game here now.
Yeah, Sophia, let's wait and see. Like you rightly put it, we have 3 hours to go. The registry will be open until midnight, so let's see how that goes. Sophia Wanuna at the Supreme Court, covering what is happening at the Supreme Court for us, counting down the hours, and at the end of the day, we'll know how many petitions are there. Sophia, thank you. Let's now take you to the coast, look at another story.